Endurance is key. This is what this whole live is about, is about endurance. Endurance. Now, if you look it up, endurance means it's the quality that does not surrender to circumstances and does not succumb under trial. Good morning. It's great to be here. Just another day. I'm always thankful for another day, another opportunity to just get back at what God has for us to do. It's been a pretty good week. Last week, actually our weekend, we went to DC last weekend. It was really cool. I don't know if the music I was playing before is by a guy named PJ Morton. I don't know if you all know who he is. Many people probably do. Really great artist. He is actually the son of Bishop Paul Morton, but he does music like he just makes music. It's not just gospel music. It's not just R&B music. He just makes good music. And we went to see PJ Morton last weekend, and it was great. It was a really cool experience. Like he went through the R&B and the love music. If you've never heard the song "First Began," that might be a good anthem for your relationship. But anyway, "First Began" is that fire, claustrophobic fire, and even in that song, PJ is talking about how people try to place him in a box. With regards to being an artist in music, because they think that because you come from a church or you come from wherever you come from, you should be that only. And really, all right, with that, the church isn't the building, it's not an organization. Well, it's us, it's the people of God. But he just makes music, and he makes music across genres that speaks to the soul of those who are listening. But because he's empowered by the Spirit of God, that it just inevitably comes out and it begins to shift people's mentality in their life. So it's really great. So this weekend, the concert in DC, you went from the R&B date vibe to standing up and about to move your feet like you were in church. Like, it was an awesome experience. So if you ever get the opportunity, check them out. All right. So anyway. But that's who I was playing, some of his music in the beginning. But today I just wanted to read you something. This is more like a Bible study type thing, but I want to read you something that jumped out to me today, and it's out of James, right? It's James chapter 1, and it's three verses, 2 through 4. All right. So James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And if I read it, if I just read this, it should say everything that needs to be said. But anyway, I'm going to read it, and then we're going to say a little bit more, if that's okay. All right. So anyway, so James 1, verse 2, it starts there. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you'll be perfect and complete, needing nothing." All right. So that's just, if you go back, just read that over and over again. And if you actually look at the words of what they mean, it'll unlock something in your heart that is just awesome. It's fire. But anyway, in a good way. But so going through this, so we're reading this, and the first thing, if you just read this for the first time, the first thing that you think about James and what he's saying is that, James, you are tripping. What is wrong with you, James? What is going on with you, James? Why? He says, brothers and sisters, like right now, just like, don't call me brother right now. Like, after this, it's like, what'd you call me brother for? Brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. What? When stuff I don't want in my life comes my way, I'm supposed to consider it. I'm supposed to be happy about this? James, there's something wrong with you. That's the first thought when you first read this for the first time, right? James, you are what? You're tripping. But anyway, but then it goes on and it says, for you know that when your faith is tested, all right? So let's go back and look at that verse 2. Why would I ever consider a trouble, a problem, an issue, something that's going to make my hair fall out, something that's going to put stress in my body, something that's going to take away, try to fight against my joy and try to take away my peace and try to keep me out of a state of being relaxed and all that. Why in the world would I ever consider a problem an opportunity for joy? Come on. Why? It says troubles of any kind, okay? Troubles of any kind. So there's different types of problems, different types of troubles. Troubles that you don't see coming, that you had nothing to do with, that just came out of nowhere, but it's on your plate, so you got to deal with it. That's one type of trouble. It says troubles of any kind. There's troubles that we bring on ourselves because we're not perfect. We don't know everything. We make stupid decisions. Sometimes we're ignorant and we don't know exactly what we're doing at every turn, every situation. Those types of things that we bring on ourselves is another type of trouble. Then there's trouble that the enemy brings, or that's there to tempt you, or troubles that are put in your path to make you. The purpose of it is to force you to stumble, right? And then you have troubles that other people bring your way. Troubles that other people always are trying to put in your path and do things like that. So anyway. So you got those different types of troubles, right? Troubles of any kind, all problems. So then, so now we're looking at the second verse. So all troubles, but consider it an opportunity for great joy. But now in verse 3, it says, for you know, this is why we consider it joy, because you know that when your faith is tested, when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. It has a chance to grow. Are we okay? An opportunity to grow. You get a little technical difficulty, but it's all right. Y'all still with me, right? So the input in verse 3 is not your faith, but the testing of it, the stirring of it. The input is the testing, the trying of your faith, the awakening. Your faith is awakened when it's tested, right? And then the output is the endurance. So it says that when your faith is tested, another version says that it produces endurance. Endurance is key. This is what this whole live is about, is about endurance. Endurance. Now, if you look it up, endurance means it's the quality that does not surrender to circumstances and does not succumb under trial. That's what endurance is. The ability to move through it, even though it's hot, or even though it's tough, or even though it's pain. The ability to keep going is what endurance is. I pray that once you hear this, that you receive and begin to allow your faith to produce endurance in your life. Why? We'll get to that in a little while. So then verse 4, it talks about, it says, so let it grow. So in verse 3, it says your endurance has a chance to grow. So then it's like James is saying, well, just go ahead and just let it go. Let it happen. Let it grow. Because when your endurance is fully developed, see, it takes a little time to develop endurance. When those of you all who are runners, or those of you all who are who train in any way, you understand that you start at square one in your endurance, and you can't do but so much. But as you consistently go through, your endurance expands. It gets bigger, gets stronger, and you're able to do what? Do more. My God. Endurance. And when your endurance is fully mature or is growing, that quality allows you not to surrender to the circumstance and to the trials in which you face on a day-to-day basis. So James tells us to just let that thing grow. Just let it grow. All right. So Once your endurance is fully mature, then you'll have bodily, mental, and moral entireness. That's what the actual word means. Bodily, mental, and moral entireness. This, in comparison, is before Adam fell. That's how we can actually be now in this earth, if we use the principles found in the Word of God. So we can go back to that. Why? Because we have Christ on the inside of us. He came so that we can be whole again. So if we apply the principles of the Word, we can actually be how Adam was before they fell. Adam was Adam and Eve. The Word of God says they were named Adam. But anyway, we'll get to that too another day. So before they screwed up, they were whole. They had everything. They had physical body was health, strength, beauty, handsomeness. Everything was operating optimally. Everything was great. Mental, their minds were sharp. The minds were clear. Their minds were in tune with God. Their minds were full of wisdom, and their minds were able to make good decisions and create and be in a space to where they could be more like their God likeness, right? And then moral entireness, meaning there's nothing on the inside of them that they had done to weigh them down. When I mess up, I feel terrible. Why? Because there's no moral, but there's a moral issue there that needs to be addressed. But that stuff stresses you out and weighs you down. So if we can eliminate those things, then we will become entire and whole. So anyway, so we can have this here. And at that point, when you're complete, when you're whole, then now you want for nothing, because you can do everything that needs to be done. You're now the person that can do everything that needs to be done, so you can have and be everything that you need to be. My goodness. Right. So anyway, we want to get to the place that we don't want for anything, because of the strengthening and the maturing of our endurance. And mature endurance makes us unstoppable. It makes us unstoppable. So it doesn't matter what comes your way, you now have the power and the ability to run through it. I'm an athlete. I compare a lot of things to sports. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. I do some other comparisons, but anyway, but we got the football season coming up, so we're going to talk just a second. Just give me about 10, 20 seconds to talk about this. So in football, you have a running back that runs the ball, and his goal is to get whatever's in his way, he's got to get to the end zone, right? And once the ball is snapped, he has to get through the line of scrimmage. You got 300-pound linemen right in front of him that he has to either avoid or run through. He's got to get to the second level, the linebackers, the Ray Lewises, the Lawrence Taylors, or whatever. He has to go and try to avoid or run through those. And then he's got to get through the third line, the safeties and the corners, and everybody's tugging at him. Everybody's trying to knock him off his path. Everybody's trying to knock him off his feet. Everybody's trying to destroy him. But because he has the strength and the endurance to persist through, he can then get to the end zone. So your endurance makes you powerful and unstoppable. My God. Unstoppable. But anyway, but yeah, we're talking about endurance. And endurance allows, right? So here's the other thing. Anytime anybody's done anything of value or of greatness or of at a massive or an awesome or an elite scale, one of the number one things that's required is consistency. Endurance allows you the bandwidth and the power to be consistent on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And your consistency that's derived from the endurance produces greatness and dreamlike results over time. So if you're what does it say in the word? It says that the race isn't given to the swift or the strong, but it's the one who endures. There's some people that are just extremely talented or just extremely strong, but they don't have the endurance and they get knocked off at the first obstacle. So it's like It's like there's many people that I can think of as like, wow, they could have done so many amazing things, or their life could be so much, or they're in a place that they shouldn't be, that they weren't created to be because they didn't have the endurance to make it through. My God, don't get me started up in here, yeah. So the endurance allows you to be consistent through the problems, consistent through the struggles, consistent through the obstacles, consistent through the stresses of life, consistent through the frustrations, consistent through the confusion, consistent through all of those things that are trying to knock you down and knock you off your feet and put you in the ground. Endurance produces the consistency to get through those things. And then you can step into your greatness. All right. So I kind of just want to talk about that this morning. So the purpose of problems is just, I'm gonna go through this, I'm gonna wrap this up, but here's the purpose of problems. Number one is to push your faith. It's a faith workout. Problems are there for nothing else but to shift and work and stir up your faith so that it can then get stronger, and then number two, produce endurance. Somebody type in endurance. Yeah. Endurance. Endurance, Lou. Endurance. Yeah. Shout out to Miss Cassandra. What's going on? Shannon, what's up? Endurance, y'all. Endurance. Produce endurance. The endurance will allow you to become unstoppable. You may get tired, but you won't stop. You'll keep going. Why? Because you have the endurance. You have enough to keep moving. My God. And then once you have your faith, your faith has been pushed by the problem, once your faith has been pushed, it then produces endurance. And then number three, it places you into power. It's inevitable. It's God programmed it into His word and into life, that if you go through these steps, you will have no choice but to be in a place of power. A life of power. Somebody type in power. So just to end this right now, problems come only for the purpose of showing yourself and anyone watching you, because you know somebody's watching. Even if you don't think they're watching, right? Problems come only for the purpose of showing yourself and anyone watching that you are bigger than the problems. My God. You're bigger than the situation that you're standing in right now. You're bigger than any issue that comes across your face, across your plate, across your desk, across your household. You're bigger than that. Why? It's according to the power that's working on the inside of you. My God. That is the only purpose for problems, is to show us we're bigger than them. And once we understand that, we can then allow it to produce the endurance to push through. So I just wanted to let y'all know, push through. I don't know everybody that I'm talking to right now, but I don't even know who exactly this word today is for, but I want you to go ahead and push through it and allow it to work on your life, because your faith is producing the endurance that'll make you unstoppable and live a life of power. So anyway, I don't understand why I come up here and preach every time. Sometimes I'm just going to talk, but anyway. But yeah, God bless you. God bless your life. I don't know what happened up to this point today, but I'm speaking power into your life right now. And I pray that you receive it. And I want you to understand that whatever it is, whatever you're going through, whatever the problem, we just went through the problems, is going to be all right. I just want you to know it's going to be all right. So, hey, y'all, I love y'all. I just kind of just wanted to get on this morning. It hit me today, so that's why I came on live today. And I just want you to know that it's going to be all right. So anyway, y'all know that Ty Tribbett song? It's going to be all right, y'all. I'm telling you. I promise you that it's going to be all right. Glory to God.